They built this place to remember the frontier. Clean streets, safe corners. That's not how the West worked. Nobody here has lost a hand, a friend, or their way.
The songs will be stuck in my head.
This is the West. After the stories get cleaned up, the hunger, the regret, the graves. We aim to bring that all back. This is Fateful Eight.
Welcome. We are Cup of Meat Productions, and this is a show that we do whose name shall not be numbered.
Oh, I like where you're going with that one, right? Not numbered. Yeah, like it's like a metaphor, double entendre with a simile.
I've reached a point where I've decided we're boycotting numbers
Again?
We are.
You know, that's the second. Oh.
We'll do a callback. So this is our 13th episode. And I feel like we're technically one off because we had a 0 episode. So the 13th episode actually was last week, which I think is the worst show that we've ever done.
It by definition, it has to be. Right?
But not even as part of the bit. It's interesting as we've gotten into this, the patterns we fall into, the jokes that we bring and come and go. Last week there was none of that. There was no jokes.
No jokes. Not allowed.
We went on and on and on about our old man beliefs on AI.
I yelled at the AI
Get
building.
off my digital lawn, you old motherfucker. We barely talked about what was arguably a pretty decent film.
Yeah.
And it's the longest episode in our current library.
Well, I would just like to say right now to our faithful fans and followers, I'm sorry.
You know, if we didn't have another 15 films to get through, I'd say we'd be hanging things up.
Giving up. Now, I think this is an opportunity for us to know what the bottom is and come back from it. Right? I mean,
I don't know. Is it the bottom?
You got to keep telling yourself.
Could we be continuing to go deeper?
No, this is the bottom. And then we'll.
Is this episode going to be worse than last week's episode?
This one. No, I'm going to put a stake in the proverbial line in the ground of sand, and I'm going to say, no, it's going to be better.
In order to do that, you need to have some throwbacks, which is why we've boycotted numbers, which makes it all the more ironic that our film tonight is The Fateful Eight.
Perfect. I love it. I was excited when the Wheel of Choice chose that last week, and I said to myself, I remember this film.
It is one of our California films. It is a very California film. It is highly drone footaged.
Yeah.
Capturing the beautiful Conejo Valley.
Beautiful Conejo Valley. No joke. That was, I think, the first time I'd been out in L.A. ever. This one, if I remember correctly, this one was also featured in the Cup of Meat's Countdown to Oblivion, was it not?
It was on Midnight Madness.
Okay, right.
With Mr. Dubashetsky.
Yeah. He loves that film.
It was interesting from a lot of ways from a production standpoint. It's another one that falls into the era when I was very into cinematography, and we tried a lot of interesting shots, some that worked really well, others that gave it the college try and didn't quite make it.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, there were a couple that are like, afterwards we were like, oh, we really should have reshot that part. But it is what it is.
It is, and it is
what it is.
The Fateful Eight. We have to talk about the drone.
Oh, let's talk about the drone.
As we mentioned in the intro, I think we made very good use of the drone in this opening credit sequence, which probably goes on too long, but looks really good.
Yeah, it goes on too long. It's supposed to have been, I mean, when we did it, it was supposed to have been that they're on a journey. It's not just a simple trek for them. So I'm okay with that. But the drone, let's talk about the drone. I'd gotten the drone probably a half a year prior, one of those things I always wanted. And this was the first time I'd ever been in LA and I got to really start to see the desolation and how close the desert really is into the LA proper. You were in Thousand Oaks at the time, and there's beautiful cacti and geological structures.
I don't think we could have pulled off that grand Western feel without those drone shots.
No, we would need to have like gunshots then or something. Somebody shooting off old beer bottles off a rail or something. Something very tropey. That shot there where they were like 3 segments in. I remember us talking about that shot. I loved doing that shot. Where it held the camera steady and they sequentially came in. This one was sort of a couple of shots and things just to make us happy.
It's in that era when we were doing filmmaker stuff.
Yeah.
Before we got lazy.
Not just lazy, but I mean, because it was like more focus on the imaging and the images than the actual script and the story. So I wouldn't call it lazy. It was just different.
Miranda? Bud? I never thought I'd see you this far out.
Your brother's dead, Bobby. First Kimmy, and on her wedding day?
So as you can tell from these shots of George, Heather, and Matt, it was very windy up on the ridge when we were shooting this. And we kind of knew that going in, and didn't really record audio. And if we did, we didn't use that audio. This entire film was ADR. We recorded it literally after the shoot up on the ridge. You brought people away for another scene. I went and had to go through and do rough edits of pretty much all of the dialogue scenes so that they could then come back, George and Heather, and watch the performance and record the vocals.
Oh yeah. Do you remember that one film? Maybe it was like Out in the Wind, and the whole 48-hour film was just wind noise, right?
I hate to say, I don't know if I know which one you're referring to.
Oh.
I know there was one at the Filmapalooza.
Oh,
where
okay.
That was there. I mean, it looked great, but the entire film, when they were outside, there was this hiss.
Yeah.
Where you just know, okay, they're using on-set audio, and they're processing the fuck out of it to get rid of that wind noise, and you could hear it.
Yep. Yeah, it's one thing to have ambiance. It's another thing to have intrusion.
She'd be planning that day or forever. Now, Bill? Bobby.
As we talked about in the intro to this film on the last episode, this is our film that captures a once amazing piece of cinema history that is now no longer.
Yeah. Sad. Paramount Ranch, right? Yep.
Paramount Ranch.
Used for many, many films. I think most recently Westworld had been recently filmed, where the new one, obviously.
You are standing in front of the church, which was a focal point element of season 1 of Westworld.
That's right. Yeah, but I think that's
the interesting story with that.
That was the last one I remember from there. But at the time we shot this.
Yeah, the interesting story with that is Paramount Ranch. For people who may not know about ranches, back in the glory days of Hollywood, they had these film ranches. Many of them were owned by studios, thus Paramount Ranch, that were just big acres and acres of land where they would film outdoor scenes for their studio films. And they would build a Wild West town that you could easily come into and film whatever. But you could also build other outdoor things. They filmed, I can't remember the name of the film, but essentially a film about Genghis Khan. And they built an entire ancient Roman-y kind of city. And when the film was done, they tore it all down. The interesting thing with the Westworld Church is, wasn't there before. They came in, they built it, just adjacent to where the kind of Wild West town is. And the nature of when you do things like that is, well, then you tear it down and you leave. And it had gotten such good press, and people were so excited about Westworld that they said, oh, people will actually come and want to see it. So you can keep it there, but you have to take the steeple off.
Huh.
And so they, at the end of filming, took the steeple off, and it stood where it was until it ultimately burnt down shortly after the filming of this film.
Yep.
Bobby, I just don't know what's going on in this town no more.
I just have to laugh every time use of the red-tailed hawk. It's just so classic.
It is a sound effect that immediately turns it into a Western.
Oh, 100%. Yep. And yeah.
They use it as jokes in other genres of media, and they play that sound, and immediately they're making a Wild West reference.
Yeah, that's right. And the funny thing is, most people think that's an eagle. They don't know that it's not an eagle.
Most people aren't smart
That's true.
like us kids at Cup of Meat.
That's right. Half the people are below average.
I at least knew it was a hawk.
Yeah.
I left that town months ago. Seems now it's catching up to me.
Bobby, it wasn't your fault. Come back to town with me.
It's not as easy as it looks.
But Bobby, folks is talking. They're starting to blame Little Bud for the killings.
Little Bud? Why, Little Bud wouldn't hurt a fly, would you, Little Bud?
Character line prop. Line is, it's not as easy as it looks. The prop was a magic 8-ball. Who was the character in this?
Kip Wallace, an event planner, which we loosely identified as her wedding day, right?
Who's the wedding planner? I agree.
The
I
bride.
totally agree. I think it's what we did.
The bride.
Oh, she was planning her wedding.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll go with that. Yeah.
Well, you know, the intent is to make
As
sure.
we said in the last episode, it's the black box. You didn't get kicked out, so we must have done it well enough.
Yeah. The intent is that we'd make sure it's not pre-done, and we never pre-do.
But anyone watching this film, if you were to tell them at the beginning of the film, tell me who the event planner is, and you can use as broad a definition as you want, I don't think anyone would immediately come out saying, oh, it was the dead bride.
I agree with that.
If you told them, and that's how that's my point of view, is it needs to be defensible.
Right.
So if they call us up and say you didn't have the character in there, we can say we did. It was the bride who was planning her wedding. And we would probably come out on top, but no one would ever.
Yeah, and that's okay, I think. As long as the idea of 48 hours, you do nothing in advance, and the line prop, dialogue, etc., and genre. Really,
Our only disqualification was for not including the character.
That's right. We talked
Because you couldn't see or hear the character. Even though the character was directly implied, because you didn't see or hear the character, we got disqualified.
See? Little Bud wouldn't hurt a fly.
Bobby, we're family. What would Mama think?
Well, I was mighty low bringing Mama into this. Because as far as I'm concerned, Mama can rot in hell with that cheating fiancé and backstabbing brother of mine.
The gunshot is obviously an homage to the scene from Goodfellas, which was an homage to a film that I can't remember. But I want to stop us here because I'm gonna come up with a controversial opinion.
What?
This film makes no sense whatsoever.
It was supposed to make sense? I thought they said a horrible film.
But do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I think, in my opinion, we thought it was going to be a story and then told in flashbacks that continued to go farther, closer and closer to the truth, and it doesn't work.
It maybe, but this is it's like, why is he angry with his mother?
That was just a vehicle to get him to get him off his ass. I remember correctly.
Sure, I guess. And then why is it that he shot? Who was he shooting in that scene?
His brother was
her.
Well, we don't know that which one he shot, but clearly he shot both of them.
Well, no,
but
it would have to be her.
Probably her, yeah,
because
that's right. Because
in
you
the
saw
first. So why would so you see that George has shot Lori?
I don't know.
You then run to the church to get George to tell him that someone shot Lori. And then you run back and go, oh my, it's a dead body. It's like,
Ron, shh. Go back to the drone shot. Just watch the drone shot. That's all you need to know. The rest makes no sense. You are 100% right.
by the way,
Yeah.
in the spirit of Italian spaghetti westerns, it's perfect. It's perfect. It actually, in the native Italian,
Right.
it makes total sense.
It totally makes sense. Absolutely.
I'm still not sure why Bill didn't come after me. He had every right to. It was a real shame he let me go that day. It was the worst decision he ever made. It was the last decision he ever made. Bud, you couldn't hurt a fly.
The titular Fateful Eight. Best use of prop. If you use the prop as a murder weapon, you should automatically win something.
Something, anything. I don't think we won anything. Did we win anything on this one? I don't even remember.
Something with the music.
Oh, well, that makes
I
sense.
think they like the music.
As well they should.
Sure, it's all stock.
Yeah, but it's still the way it worked. Like, ooh.
Well placed. The problem with the Magic 8 Ball is the answers didn't all necessarily fit.
Right, exactly.
So,
Even better.
and the problem is you also don't know what you're going to get. Because they're like 3d4 in there or something so you don't, it's luck. So when we film it, does very doubtful work? Good enough. Moving on. This was Cup of Meat's 25th 48-hour film, which may or may not be true, but was a tip of the hat to Quentin Tarantino, who numbers his films or has for several years.
Yep.
And at this point, we've made 3 times as many.
That must make us better. Better at making film. I mean, making more. Okay.
The refrigerator film.
One of my, I don't know. I really enjoy this film. If I remember it right? Because it has very cute elements. I think it progressed well. It told a good story, and it was total couple meet quirk.
It has one of the best visual hooks of any of our films.
Yep. If I remember it correctly,
it's
the ending,
one of the classics.
I'm not going to say anymore, but if I remember that little hook was so cute.
It's interesting. I guess it's because it has that hook that I've watched it pretty regularly throughout the years. Yeah.
It used to be one of those movies that I'm not sure what I'd say now, but for a long time it was when someone said, "Oh, I'm new to Cup of Meat" or whatever. What should I watch first? And I would say, watch the refrigerator film first. An Untold Film of Refrigerator.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's very approachable.
It's the exact opposite of Fateful Eight, which doesn't make any sense. Not the exact opposite, but
yeah, and it to me that was like it's a good visual film. It was going for a style. We kind of hit the style with the things that can be forgiven because we're going for that style.
Yep.
But no, we were trying to make a bad film.
We were it's homage to the
Don't
bad
you understand?
directors of spaghetti westerns.
Well, what's really interesting is, there is a fan base for bad movies. The Room, Birdemic, but there are hundreds of films that are like that. And what's amazing is that there's also hundreds of films that are trying to be that. And how easy it is to immediately know, oh, you're trying to make a bad movie. There's no sincerity here. You weren't trying anything else and just happened to make a funny movie.
We didn't try to make a bad movie, that one. We just did what we ended up with.
We make bad movies whether we try or not.
Success.
Last week was the worst episode we've ever recorded. And the ending was pathetic. It was me whining. That was supposed to be the joke
for you.
But that's not the persona I'm trying for here. I'm trying for the Obi-Wan Kenobi old man intelligence.
You knew old Ben, didn't you?
I did know old Ben. Back in the old days before the Clone Wars. He and I would like to go to Tatooine and drink a few.
That's the word. Tatooine. That's hilarious.
And now we're going down roads of talking about Star Wars, which maybe will be good for the clicks.
For the clicks.
Maybe that we need a Star Wars.
It's all sand and hot, and the sand is coarse, and it gets everywhere.
No. A good Star Wars ending.
That was just get to rile you up. That's what we call clickbait. It's new. What?
Eric, your father's not dead. I'm your father.